Today, I'm going to talk about the second chapter of the Coffin of Andy and Leyley, a game for which I previously made a video covering the first chapter. Let me say this right away, the game contains a lot of disturbing content, and I personally find the themes it explores to be inappropriate. Before we get started, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. With that out of the way, enjoy the video. Our game begins exactly 1 week after the events of the first chapter. Our duo is still arguing in front of a restaurant. Then we move into a motel room, where a series of unsettling conversations take place between the two. Let me say up front that I'll be skipping over those parts, they're extremely disturbing and, frankly, add little to the story. After all, we already know what these two are like. Anyway, moving on, after Ashley cleans the room, the two watch a news report on TV. From it, they learn that the apartment building where they committed the murder has burned down completely, and all evidence has been lost. Things just got weirder, didn't they? For now, they're lucky, but who knows what's coming next. After that, they fall asleep, and Ashley has a nightmare in which someone sneaks into their home and murders them. This is where things start to feel strange. Why would someone want them dead? Right after this vision, Ashley wakes up in a panic and tells Andrew what she saw. Then they head outside together. As they wait for the killer to enter and exit the motel room, a strange-looking man walks by. Once control shifts to Andrew, the two begin to follow him. That's when we encounter a cult performing a demonic summoning ritual. They leave the scene and return to the motel room. At this point, they decide to pack their things and leave. If we open the closet before packing, we discover that the man who came to kill them is still hiding inside and he kills us. However, if we leave the room without interacting with the closet, we continue the game normally. After escaping, they head to a forest park. Ashley hears footsteps and senses that whoever wants to kill them is still nearby. She then hands Andrew a gun and asks him to find and kill the person. Notice something? Ashley hasn't killed anyone herself yet. She makes Andrew do everything. And because he's her older brother, he feels a protective instinct, he simply can't let her die. In short, Ashley is manipulating her brother. Back to the story, if we go behind the bushes, we kill the assassin. Then, we steal his car and drive off. While driving, the two decide to find their family. Now you might ask, didn't their family abandon them? Why do they want to find them? Their plan is to quietly steal some money from their parents and continue their lives. They also think that, since it's their parents, it wouldn't count as theft. On top of that, Ashley originally wanted to kill them. I'm sure by now you've realized just how cruel this girl is. After yet another argument, the two continue on their journey. Ashley falls asleep in the car, and we're hit with another vision. She dreams of encountering a demon, who tells her to bring him more human souls. Then we see a dream that reveals Ashley's past. No one celebrates her birthday, and we see Andrew taking her to the store to buy her a cake. Through these flashbacks, we begin to understand why Ashley is the way she is. She was neglected by her family. She grew up lonely, and eventually started to develop feelings for her brother. Suddenly, the dream ends, and Ashley wakes up lying across Andrew's legs. They put all that behind them and go to their family's house, looking for something to steal. As they search the house, they make a shocking discovery in the bedroom, their own death certificates. Turns out their parents had fake documents made to legally declare them dead. Clearly, this family is far from normal. Why would parents want to pretend their children are dead? If you remember from my previous video, Ashley's mother was extremely disturbed by the idea of her children contacting her. That should tell you a lot about what kind of people they are. After stealing some money, they hear a noise at the door. When they go to check, they come face to face with their mother, who is understandably shocked to see them. They act clueless and pretend not to have found the death certificates. Let me say, despite not seeing each other for years, this family is not happy to reunite. Their parents clearly don't want them there. Later, Ashley and Andrew are left alone in the kitchen and have another argument. Ashley suggests killing their parents, but Andrew refuses, and a fight breaks out. That's when their mother walks in and witnesses something highly inappropriate. She tells them they can stay just one night and must find somewhere else to go. There's really nothing more to say about these parents. That night, Andrew has a nightmare. In this dream, we see how psychologically damaged he's become from all the killing. He's on the verge of a complete breakdown. In one room of the dream, he sees his ex-girlfriend. When he checks the phone inside the room, he finds multiple voice messages from Ashley. In those messages, she says things like, "Do you think she's better than me?" showing how much she hates Andrew's ex. Then, we see a memory from Andrew's past. He's talking to Julia, and she tells him that Ashley needs to start taking care of herself. Andrew tries to change the subject. They hug, and he asks Julia to tie her hair back for him. That's when things get really twisted. The reason he makes this request is because he wants Julia to resemble Ashley. Things are getting more and more disturbing, so I'll fast forward a bit to what happens after the dream. When he wakes up, Ashley tells Andrew to kill their parents. Of course, he refuses. They argue again and become way too physically close. At that moment, their mother walks in and gets angry at how close they are. Ashley then grabs a gun and threatens her. Afterward, they take their parents down to the basement and tie them up. Their mother talks about how hard she tried to make Ashley a normal person, and how miserable she is to have a daughter like her. But the siblings ignore her and begin preparing to offer their parents to the demon. Ashley leaves briefly, and during that time, the mother tries to manipulate Andrew into setting her free. She tells him Ashley is the real problem, and if they get rid of her, they can live happily together. But Andrew refuses and holds a knife to her throat. He tells her that he saw the death certificates and knows they're liars. As a last resort, the mother says that there's something more than just a sibling relationship between Andrew and Ashley, and that his desire to protect her stems from that. In a moment of shame, Andrew denies it, saying it's not true, just as Ashley walks in at the worst possible time. In the end, the siblings offer their parents to the demon. These parts are extremely disturbing. If you're sensitive, feel free to skip ahead a few seconds. Afterward, they destroy all the evidence and fall asleep holding hands. In their sleep, two doors appear before them. If we go through the left one, we see a dream. So I choose the right door. In the final scenes, we see them on their way to dump the last remaining evidence, their parents' remains, into the ocean. And with that, the second chapter of the game comes to an end. That was the video. As you can probably guess, I really don't like how such sensitive topics are portrayed in this game. And for the record, I have absolutely no respect for the relationship between these two characters. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, goodbye.